Hello, and welcome. I'm so glad you're here. If you've ever looked at someone achieving massive success, whether it's the entrepreneur who built an empire from scratch, the professional who consistently exceeds expectations, or the artist who created a timeless masterpiece, you might have asked yourself a familiar question. What do they know that I don't? Is it genetics? Is it luck? Is it some magical, unattainable genius? The short answer is no. The long answer is what we're going to explore over the next several hours. Let me start with a story. It's a timeless story about two stonemasons working side by side on a massive construction project hundreds of years ago. A traveler approaches the first mason, who is hunched over, covered in dust, and striking a large rock with his chisel. The traveler asks him, "What are you doing?" The first mason sighs, wipes the sweat from his brow, and grumbles, "I'm chipping this wretched stone. It's hard, tedious work, and I can't wait for quitting time." The traveler nods and moves on to the second mason, who is working with the same tools, on the same kind of stone, under the same blazing sun. But this mason is humming a tune, and his eyes hold a remarkable light. The traveler asks him the same question, "What are you doing?" The second mason stands up tall, gestures toward the immense, incomplete structure around them, and says with passion and pride, "I am building a cathedral." Same effort, same stone, same tools, but a fundamentally different life. The difference wasn't in their skill, it was in their perspective. The second mason understood his purpose. He was connected to a vision far grander than his current task. Most people believe success is about doing the extraordinary, but highly successful people understand that success is about approaching the ordinary in an extraordinary way. These people are not built from a different material than you. They simply operate according to 7 clear, repeatable, and learnable principles. These aren't secrets that are locked away. They're habits of mind and action that are often ignored. Over the course of this audiobook, we're going to unlock these 7 secrets of highly successful people. We'll look at the stories. We'll break down the practical, step-by-step actions you can take, and by the end, you'll have a complete blueprint for redefining your own success. Are you ready to stop chipping stone and start building your cathedral? Let's dive in. Chapter 1. The Secret of 100% Ownership, Radical Responsibility. The first secret is arguably the most fundamental because it sets the foundation for everything else. Highly successful people take 100% ownership of their results, no exceptions. This is the secret of radical responsibility. It means eliminating the word victim from your vocabulary entirely. When something goes wrong, a project fails, a deal falls through, a relationship sours, most people immediately look outward. The economy is bad. My boss didn't give me enough support. The market is unfair. But the successful person looks inward first and always. What part did I play in this outcome? What could I have controlled? What did I miss? The story of the Phoenix entrepreneur. Think about the story of a well-known tech entrepreneur, not the one you see in magazines, but the one whose first venture was a physical product line. Let's call him Alex. Alex invested everything he had, plus significant loans, into setting up a small manufacturing facility. 6 months after opening, his facility was struck by a severe, unexpected flood that ruined nearly 90% of his specialized equipment and inventory. It was an event totally outside of his control. When the news hit, his business partner was paralyzed. "It's over," the partner said. "It was bad luck. We're ruined. We have to blame the building company for poor drainage, the city for inadequate infrastructure, the insurance company for slow response." Alex listened patiently, and then he asked a single, crucial question. "Okay, but what do we do now? How do we rebuild better, faster, and smarter so this never happens again?" He didn't waste a single hour assigning blame. He accepted the reality. This is my problem now. He spent the next 48 hours creating 2 things: a complete, detailed asset salvage plan and a revised 90-day cash flow projection, assuming 0 insurance payout, worst-case scenario. He didn't control the weather, but he could control his response, his focus, and his ability to learn the lesson of redundant systems and secondary storage. He not only rebuilt, but implemented better, smarter, more resilient systems, and his company went on to massive success precisely because he absorbed the flood as a necessary, brutal lesson in resilience. That is 100% ownership in action. Step-by-step practical advice. The 3 control zones. How do you apply this? By understanding your 3 control zones. Step 1. Identify the 3 zones. When faced with any challenge, immediately categorize the components into one of 3 zones. The internal zone, 100% control, your attitude, your effort, your preparation, your honesty, your willingness to learn, and your decision to act. This is where you should spend most of your energy. The influence zone, partial control, how you communicate, how you motivate your team, how you structure your request, and the questions you ask. You can influence outcomes, but you cannot guarantee them. The external zone, zero control, the weather, the economy, political events, other people's decisions, a competitor's pricing, or the slow customer service line. Any energy spent here is wasted. Step 2. Practice response first. Thinking. Instead of reacting emotionally to an external event, practice pausing and asking, given this reality I cannot change, what is the most powerful response I can choose right now? For example, if a client cancels a major contract, external zone, the average person reacts with anger and panic. The highly successful person pauses and asks, what was lacking in my proposal that allowed the competitor to win? Internal zone. What new approach can I immediately implement to prevent this from happening on the next 10 proposals? Influence zone. Step 3. Shift your language from have to choose to. Listen to the words you use. When you say, I have to go to the gym, or I have to finish this report, you sound like a victim of your schedule. The shift in language is profound. I choose to go to the gym because I value my health and longevity. I choose to finish this report because it moves me one step closer to launching my new project. This simple semantic shift reclaims your power. It reminds you that even mundane tasks are a result of your conscious choice toward a bigger goal. Key takeaway. The secret of 100% ownership is this. Your life is not happening to you. It is happening through you. True freedom isn't the absence of problems. It's the absolute confidence in your ability to choose your response to any problem. Stop looking for someone to blame and start looking for something to build. Chapter 2. The secret of compounding. Invisible momentum. The second secret is simple, yet completely counterintuitive to our modern, impatient world. It is the secret of compounding. Most people chase the big win, the lottery ticket, the viral video, the sudden breakthrough. Highly successful people understand that success rarely arrives as a single, thunderous event. Instead, it accumulates slowly, almost invisibly, through the relentless application of small, daily, consistent improvements. This is the principle of $1 turning into $1.01, and then $1.02, and then $1.03, until suddenly, years later, you have an enormous, unstoppable fortune. This applies not just to money, but to skills, relationships, and health. The story of the ship's rudder. Imagine a massive ocean liner traveling from one side of the world to the other. Its rudder, the tiny plate that steers the ship, might only need to be adjusted by a degree or two, sometimes less, to keep it on course. If the captain decides, early in the voyage, to adjust the rudder by just 2 degrees to the east, what happens? For the first day, the ship is barely off course. For the first week, the difference is negligible. You can't even see it. It's an invisible momentum. But if that 2-degree adjustment is maintained for the entire journey, instead of arriving at its intended port, the ship will land hundreds, perhaps thousands, of miles away. A negligible difference, compounded over time, yields a radical, world-changing result. Successful people aren't 10 times smarter than you. They are 1% better, consistently, over 1,000 days. They make the 2-degree adjustment. Step-by-step practical advice, the 1% improvement system. You are building a system, not chasing a goal. Here is how to create invisible momentum in your own life. Step 1. Identify your 1% better area. Where is the leverage? Don't try to change 5 things at once. Choose one habit that, if performed every day, would make the biggest long-term difference in your chosen field. For a writer, write 500 words every single morning before checking email. For an entrepreneur, Make one cold call or customer follow-up every single day. For health, take a 15-minute walk every single evening. It must be small, it must be repeatable, and it must be connected to your long-term destination. Step 2. Use the 2-minute rule to start. The hardest part of any habit is starting. The 2-minute rule, popularized by many great habit researchers, states you should scale down any new habit to take less than 2 minutes to perform. Want to run a marathon? Your habit is put on running shoes, less than 2 minutes. Want to read 50 books a year? Your habit is read 1 page, less than 2 minutes. Want to start meditating? Your habit is sit down in the chair, less than 2 minutes. The real goal in the beginning is not to achieve the result, but to show up and become the type of person who doesn't miss the activity. The act of starting is the foundation of compounding. Step 3. Track, don't judge. The habit scorecard. What gets measured gets managed. You need a system for accountability, but it must be observational, not judgmental. Create a simple habit scorecard. It can be a paper calendar or a simple spreadsheet. Every day you successfully perform your 1% better habit, place an X. The goal is to build a streak, a chain of X's. When you see the chain growing, your brain immediately registers a win and strengthens the neural pathway for that behavior. If you miss a day, that's okay. The successful person's rule is never miss twice. Get back on track immediately. Missing once is an accident. Missing twice starts a new negative habit. Key takeaway. The secret of compounding is this: you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Focus on designing a system of tiny, consistent behaviors. The gap between where you are now and where you want to be is bridged by the 1% improvements you make today. Chapter 3. The secret of intentional focus. The power of saying no. In today's world, we celebrate the busy person, the one with the perpetually full calendar, the inbox blinking with new messages, the professional who proudly works 18 hours a day. We mistake activity for productivity. The third secret of highly successful people is that they master intentional focus. They understand that time is not their most precious resource. Attention is, and the most powerful tool for protecting their attention is the word no. Successful people are defined not by what they say yes to, but by the thousands of good, but non-essential things they ruthlessly say no to. The story of the great investor. There is a timeless story about one of the world's most successful investors. He was once asked by a student how he managed to achieve such extraordinary returns over decades. The student expected an answer about complex financial models or market timing. The investor smiled and said, "My success is simply a result of saying no to almost everything." He explained that he knew exactly what his core competency was: deep, quiet, uninterrupted thought and analysis. He knew that every time he agreed to an unnecessary meeting, a speaking engagement that didn't excite him, or a project that was only okay, he was taking time away from his high-leverage activity, the one thing that truly drove his success. He had the courage to disappoint people in the short term by declining invitations and ignoring distractions in order to satisfy his vision in the long term. His schedule wasn't a list of things he had to do. It was a carefully guarded vault of time reserved for the work that truly mattered. Step-by-step practical advice. Protecting your attention. If attention is the currency of mastery, we must become vigilant about how we spend it. Step 1. Define your high-leverage activity, HLA. Before you can say no effectively, you must know what you are protecting. What is the one task that, if you completed it consistently, would drive 80% of your desired results? This is your HLA. For an author, it might be writing the first draft. For a salesperson, it might be face-to-face meetings with top clients. For a manager, it might be mentoring the top 10% of their team. Write it down. This is the compass against which every incoming request must be measured. Step 2. Implement the focus block technique. Highly successful people don't wait for motivation. They schedule execution. Designate blocks of time, 1 to 4 hours, specifically for your HLA, and treat them as unbreakable appointments. During a focus block, implement digital isolation. Turn off all notifications, close email, and put your phone in another room. This isn't about fitting deep work around your distractions. It's about scheduling deep work first and fitting everything else around it. Step 3. Master the graceful no. Saying no can be difficult, especially for people pleasers. Learn to say no gracefully, without lengthy explanations or apologies. Instead of, "I'm so sorry I can't come to that meeting because I have a huge deadline and I haven't slept and my cat is sick," which invites negotiation. Try, "That sounds fascinating, but my current focus is solely on Project X for the next month. I can't commit to anything else right now." Or, "Thank you for thinking of me, but I have to decline." Clarity is kindness. A vague yes is always crueler than a firm no. Key takeaway. The secret of intentional focus is this: you must stop being productive on things that don't matter. Busyness is a trap. True success is found in dedicating your protected attention to your single, most important work. Chapter 4. The Secret of the Long Game, Delayed Gratification. We live in a world of instant feedback and one-click gratification. This environment trains our brains to seek immediate rewards, which is the exact opposite of the mindset required for monumental success. The fourth secret is the secret of the long game, or the willingness to trade a small, immediate reward for a far greater, future reward. This is known as delayed gratification, and it is the single most consistent predictor of success in every area of life. Successful people are inherently future-oriented. They view today's struggle as a necessary investment for tomorrow's freedom. The story of the bamboo tree. There is no better metaphor for the long game than the Chinese bamboo tree. Once the seed is planted, you must water and nourish it every single day for 4 years. The farmer sees absolutely no sign of life, nothing, zero growth above ground. It looks like a complete waste of time. Any other crop would have sprouted and been harvested multiple times by now. Many farmers would give up, believing the seed was barren. But in the 5th year, something incredible happens. The Chinese bamboo tree grows 90 feet tall in just 6 weeks. Did the tree grow 90 feet in 6 weeks? Number. It grew 90 feet in 5 years. The 4 years of invisible growth, developing an immense, powerful root system underground, were the foundation for the explosive, rapid growth that followed. Successful careers, businesses, and lives are often the bamboo tree. We see the final 6 weeks of explosive growth, the major deal, the big funding round, the bestseller, but we miss the 4 years of quiet, invisible, fundamental work that made it possible. Step-by-step practical advice. Investing in your future self. You must treat your future self as a separate entity, someone you are investing in, preparing for, and making sacrifices for today. Step 1. Map the cost and reward. For any decision, successful people mentally map out the cost-reward ratio across time. Action. Immediate cost. Immediate reward. Future cost. Future reward. Binge watching. Low energy. Instant pleasure. High cost. Regret. Lost time. No progress. 0. Deep work on project. High energy. 0 or pain. 0 or low. High cost. Project completion. New opportunity. When you consistently choose the path with the high future reward, you are automatically practicing delayed gratification. Step 2. Create a future self contract. Successful people make binding commitments to their future selves. This might be a literal contract or a detailed 5-year plan. Write down, in detail, what you want your life to look like 5 years from now. Your income, your skills, your impact, your relationships. Then, look at that future self and ask, what does she need me to start doing today to make her life easier? Often, the answer is boring. Saving 10% more. Learning the fundamental software. Practicing the difficult skill. Your future self-contract turns a momentary impulse, eating the dessert, into a moral conflict, betraying the person you are becoming. Step 3. Automate the investment. Make the good choice the easiest choice. Remove the daily need for willpower by automating your long-term investments. Financial. Automate your savings or investment contributions the moment your paycheck lands. You can't spend what you never see. Skill. Automate a time slot for learning a new language or skill. See Chapter 3. The decision is made. The action is scheduled. Health. Automate your meal preparation on Sunday night so the daily choice is healthy by default. Key takeaway. The secret of the long game is this: the pain of discipline weighs ounces. The pain of regret weighs tons. Do the hard, boring work today when it's small and manageable so that your life can grow 90 feet tall tomorrow. Chapter 5. The Secret of Continuous Learning, the Growth Mindset. The fifth secret is that highly successful people are perpetual students. They operate not with a fixed mindset, which assumes abilities are static, but with a growth mindset, which assumes that skill, talent, and intelligence can be cultivated through effort, good strategies, and learning from mistakes. They treat every setback not as a failure, but as data. The fixed mindset asks, "Am I good enough?" The growth mindset asks, "What can I learn from this?" This shift in perspective is what enables successful people to continuously reinvent themselves and stay relevant in a rapidly changing world. The story of the great inventor. Consider the life of any great inventor. It's easy to focus on the final, brilliant product, but their personal history is always riddled with thousands of failures. One famous inventor was trying to create a functional, long-lasting electric light bulb. He once remarked, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Imagine the sheer mental resilience required to fail 10,000 times, yet still show up to the laboratory the next day with the enthusiasm of the first. His growth mindset was so strong that the concept of failure didn't exist. There was only iteration. Each failed attempt was a piece of valuable, expensive data that got him closer to the solution. He wasn't smarter than his contemporaries. He was simply willing to endure being wrong, publicly, 10,000 times more than they were. Step-by-step practical advice, turning mistakes into mastery. You need a practical system for learning faster than your competition. Step 1. Embrace the beginner's mind. The moment you think you know everything about your field, you stop learning. Successful people actively seek out opportunities to feel like a beginner again. Once a quarter, commit to learning a tangentially related skill that you know nothing about. Coding, public speaking, drawing, even an instrument. The process of struggling, asking dumb questions, and incrementally improving retrains your brain to be open and humble. This is how you prevent stagnation. Step 2. Implement the After-Action Review, AAR. The AAR is a military concept used to debrief after any mission, whether successful or failed. You should use it after every major project or decision. Ask 4 simple questions. What was supposed to happen? The plan? Goal? What actually happened? The result/reality. Why did it happen? Root cause analysis? Be honest. What are we going to do differently next time? The immediate, actionable lesson. Crucially, the AAR must be blameless. It is an exploration of the system and the strategy, never an attack on the person. Step 3. Curate your learning ecosystem. Successful people are extremely intentional about what inputs they allow into their minds. Books. Read across disciplines, not just within your field. Great ideas often come from adjacent areas, e.g., applying principles from biology to business. Mentors. Seek out people who are already doing what you want to do. Don't be afraid to ask for advice. Successful people often love sharing what they've learned, provided you respect their time. Media. Consume information that challenges your existing beliefs. The goal is intellectual growth, not validation. Key takeaway. The secret of continuous learning is this: your capacity for learning is not fixed. It is your greatest renewable resource. Treat every mistake as a tuition payment for future success and never stop being curious. Chapter 6. The Secret of Emotional Mastery, Resilience, and Perspective. If you strip away all the financial metrics and impressive titles, what you find at the core of a successful person is emotional durability. This is the sixth secret: the ability to manage and leverage their internal emotional state in the face of inevitable hardship. Success is a messy, turbulent journey filled with fear, self-doubt, and major setbacks. Those who make it aren't the ones who avoid these emotions. They are the ones who have mastered the art of feeling the emotion without letting the emotion drive the action. They choose resilience over reaction. The story of the CEO and the crisis. A few years ago, the CEO of a major retail company faced an unprecedented crisis. A critical supply chain partner went bankrupt overnight, threatening to halt their production just weeks before the crucial holiday season. Millions of dollars and hundreds of jobs were on the line. In the emergency meeting, the tension was palpable. Junior executives were panicking, projecting doom, and assigning blame. The CEO walked in, sat down, and simply stated, "This is bad. Let's take 2 minutes. Breathe. We have 3 goals. First, no one is panicking. Second, we are not wasting time on what-ifs or blame. Third, we are focusing entirely on the 3 most viable backup solutions we can find right now." This wasn't coldness. It was disciplined emotion. She allowed the reality of the crisis to exist, but she immediately channeled the energy of fear and urgency into a focused, solution-oriented process. She used her emotional state as a fuel source, not a weapon against herself or her team. By maintaining her calm, she gave everyone else permission to do the same, and they solved the crisis in record time. Step-by-step practical advice. Turning stress into strength. Your ability to regulate your emotions is a skill, not a trait. It can be practiced and improved. Step 1. Practice the 5-second pause, the space between stimulus and response. This is the most fundamental practice. When something happens, an insult, a setback, a piece of bad news, your natural urge is to react instantly. Successful people create a space. Before you speak, email, or act, force yourself to take 5 deep, slow breaths. This simple biological act interrupts the automatic emotional circuit and allows your rational brain to catch up. That 5-second pause is where all self-mastery begins. Step 2. Externalize the problem. The advisory board technique. When you are emotionally compromised, you are a terrible decision maker. To gain perspective, successful people often externalize the problem. Imagine you are not yourself, but a trusted advisor to yourself. If your best friend came to you with this exact problem, the same level of stress, the same setback, what concrete, rational advice would you give them? By stepping outside of your own emotional turmoil, you can access the calm wisdom you already possess. Step 3. Define the catastrophic floor. Anxiety is often rooted in vague, exaggerated fears. Successful people neutralize this by defining the absolute worst-case scenario, the catastrophic floor. If this project fails, if this deal falls through, if I lose this money, what is the worst, most painful, absolute rock-bottom reality? Once they define the floor, they realize 2 things. A, it's usually survivable, and B, they immediately know the steps needed to rebuild. Defining the fear makes it manageable and allows them to proceed with disciplined action, knowing exactly what they are fighting against. Key takeaway. The secret of emotional mastery is this. You can't control the events that happen to you, but you are the absolute sovereign of your emotional response. Channel your energy into solutions, not survival. Chapter 7. The Secret of Contribution. The Multiplier Effect. We've talked a lot about personal habits, focus, and resilience, but the ultimate secret of truly successful people, those who achieve enduring influence and deep satisfaction, is that their efforts are always rooted in contribution. This is the multiplier effect. They shift their focus from what can I get to what can I give or how can I serve. They understand that the fastest, most effective way to become successful is to solve a significant problem for a significant number of people. Success in this sense is not pursued directly. It is earned as a byproduct of helping others thrive. The story of the mentor's legacy. I once knew a highly accomplished business leader, an older gentleman who had built and sold 3 major companies. When he was asked in his later years what he was most proud of, he didn't mention the revenue numbers or the acquisition checks. He pulled out a binder. Inside, it contained letters, cards, and emails from dozens of former employees and mentees. These were people who had gone on to start their own successful companies, raise healthy families, or simply find their true calling, all thanks to the time, wisdom, and opportunities he had provided them. He explained, "My first goal was to get rich. My second goal, after I accomplished the first, was to teach others how to do the same. I realized that the true measure of my wealth wasn't the size of my bank account, but the number of people I could afford to make successful. This is the mindset shift from scarcity to abundance. The truly successful know that by lighting other people's candles, their own light is not diminished, it is magnified. Step-by-step practical advice. Defining your impact. You can integrate this secret into your daily practice no matter what stage of your career you are in. Step 1. Identify your unique service, your who and how. Every successful person provides a unique form of value. Define yours with clarity. Ask yourself, who do I serve? My customer, my team, my family, my community. What is the single biggest problem I solve for them? What unique gift or skill do I possess that the world needs? It could be clarity, motivation, technical skill, or deep empathy. When your business or career mission is centered on a deep, painful problem you can uniquely solve for a specific group of people, the rewards will naturally follow. Step 2. Adopt the give first philosophy. In every new relationship or potential collaboration, consciously ask, how can I help this person right now, with no expectation of immediate return? This might be making a key introduction, sharing valuable information, or offering a piece of wisdom. By consistently giving value first, you build a massive reservoir of goodwill, reputation, and trust. People want to do business with, collaborate with, and hire those who have proven to be generous. Step 3. Mentor a mini-me. The ultimate act of contribution is replication. Find someone younger, less experienced, or earlier in their journey, a mini-me, and invest time in them. Teach them the skills you mastered in Chapter 5 and the resilience you practiced in Chapter 6. By teaching, you solidify your own knowledge. You force yourself to articulate your principles, and you create a lasting legacy that far outlives any financial statement. Key takeaway. The secret of contribution is this. Your true success is not measured by the size of your house, but by the size of the positive wake you leave behind you. Shift your energy from taking to serving, and watch your influence multiply. Conclusion. The time to start is now. We have reached the end of our journey, but this is truly where your journey begins. We've uncovered the 7 secrets of highly successful people, the secret of 100% ownership, choosing your response.